All right, ladies and gentlemen. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about another video from Chibi Reviews. This particular video is an interesting one because it goes over a lot of different information regarding censorship. But one of the biggest things is that TikTok is apparently banning people for not age verifying on their platform. I'm not kidding. If you do not submit your ID, if you do not take a facial selfie or anything of that sort, you will be banned and your account will be deleted from TikTok. That is what is going around right now, on top of other things. So let's check out Chibi Review's video and see what he's got to say. And of course, I'm going to link the video in the description box below so that you guys can go check out his channel after you're done watching this video. Here we go. Let's go.
Wikipedia operator loses court challenge to UK Online Safety Act regulations.
And yes, I know the mustache. I know. Every Chibi video I do is always mentioning the mustache. I know.
We really are witnessing the death of the internet, or at the very least, the death of the anonymous internet, because this isn't the only bad news that came out today. First off, we have stuff with TikTok, and where TikTok is now doing the exact same thing as YouTube is, where they are now implementing a AI algorithm, like a bot, to determine if your account is a child or an adult. And
so check this out. Let's look at this screenshot. If you look, it says, your account will be deleted on 9/09/2025. Your account is banned because it looks like you do not meet the age requirement to use TikTok. Your account will be deleted on 9/09/25. If this is a mistake and you are at least 13 years old, you could appeal before 9/02/2025. You can also download your data before 9/02/2025. So they're just flat out banning fucking accounts, bro. They don't even care. And even if it's a mistake, it doesn't matter.
You know how these automated systems work. And it's apparently already being...
It's exactly what we said was going to happen, by the way. We literally said that this was going to happen on all the platforms that instituted this change, because these AI algorithms that they're all using, which, by the way, does anybody find it highly suspicious that every single government official, like every single fucking account, every single social media platform, everybody is using suddenly the same age verification software? Almost every single one of them, as if they all just magically bought the software, what, yesterday at the same time? No, they've had this plan for a while now. Of course, this was being implemented for a long time now.
Implemented around the world, and it's affecting people in the United States as well. This isn't strictly just attached to the United Kingdom or the EU. You have TikTok now joining in on the rampant surveillance and privacy evasion, which is not really surprising since TikTok is technically a Chinese app, but regardless of the point, we have a lot of these companies that are just diving into the invasion of privacy because it is a domino effect that is getting worse and worse. But then to add even more on to...
I think a domino effect is probably an understatement at this point.
Just this rampant bad news that we've been getting, we now have a list of how many countries in the EU is supporting the invasion of privacy, trying to read your messages, censor the internet, and just a bunch of other things in between. You can see a bunch of them outlined right here, like Italy, Ireland, you have Portugal, you have Spain, you have, Sweden. You have a bunch of different countries in here, all in support of censoring the internet and knowing what you're doing at any given time, and basically saying, think of the children. And the only countries that seem to be actually opposing this so far is just these three: the Netherlands, Poland, and Austria, which is just, it's very little in comparison to the amount of supporting. And then those that are undecided, you can see kind of right here. But let's get back into the main point where we started this video when it comes to Wikipedia. I would like to remind everybody that the law...
Which, by the way, Wikipedia has always been something that's been compromised. I mean, Wikipedia can be changed by literally anything and anyone. And usually it's always in the favor of, I guess you could say, manipulating the entire story that's really trying to be told. I mean, look what they did with Assassin's Creed Shadows. The moment that game was revealed, they went to the Yasuke page and changed a whole bunch of shit, deleted a whole bunch of real history that would prove that he wasn't actually, confirmed to be a samurai or any of that. They changed up the entire page and then they locked it down, right? So Wikipedia isn't exactly a website that's very trustworthy either.
UK Online Safety Act started with the whole motivation and optics of think of the children, protect the children. Even in this article, if you go to the bottom, you have a statement from the government itself. The British government says the law is designed to protect children and remove illegal content. Technology Secretary Peters said those who want to overturn it were on the side of predators. So basically, what the government of the United Kingdom is doing, and I'm assuming...
Does anybody find it odd that when Trump was about to get into office, one of the things that was being argued about was banning TikTok in order to protect the safety of Americans and our data, right? Because TikTok was supposedly stealing data from Americans. I think it's hilarious now that TikTok, of all platforms, has age verification, where now they're about to get a whole bunch of IDs and facial selfies of a bunch of Americans on their platform in order to keep using their platform. Does anybody think that's insane? I mean, this is a Chinese-owned company that people tried to say was unsafe because of data stealing and whatnot, and now you're basically saying, "Oh, it's okay. Just fucking just upload your ID and upload your selfie, and it's all good." It's just kind of weird to me.
EU is going to soon to follow, like the countries that are in support of these laws are going to say, if you dare try to fight back for freedom of expression or to be able to just say what you want online, you're on the side of actual PDF files. Like, that's what side you're on. That's what these governments are trying to say. They're trying to gaslight everybody into that. And it's just outright despicable, because you're not going to tell me.
And let's be real too, and I'm sorry I keep cutting it off. I just thought about this. Let's be real. How many kids are going to try to convince their parents to use their IDs to pass the age verification so that they could keep their accounts so they don't lose their accounts? How much you would have bet these kids that are addicted to TikTok that shouldn't be using it, for all intents and purposes, at least not regulated anyway or not parentally controlled, they're going to try to convince their parents to use their ID or take a selfie, and if their parents are stupid and have no idea what's going on, they're going to do it. And now, like, it's crazy. This whole thing is just crazy to me.
Censoring Wikipedia is about helping and protecting children. Like, let's get to the bottom of this real quick. Like, let's just show an example here. Wikipedia is a source of information. Now, obviously, Wikipedia can be inaccurate at times. It can. There is definitely times where it has been. There is history and records. If you go back, you could find it. But the point is,
well, there is inaccuracy, and then there's forcing inaccuracy, right? So with Wikipedia, it's not that it's just inaccurate. What it is that there are activists on Wikipedia that purposely lie about things in order to push narratives that favor their whatever, their belief, their political beliefs, their agenda, whatever you want to call it. It's one thing to be inaccurate because you probably didn't have all the information at the time. It's a whole nother thing to purposely lie about something just so that you can, I guess, push whatever narrative you want to push.
Is that in general,
it's all deliberate.
Wikipedia is used as a source of finding out data. For instance, maybe about historical figures, finding out stuff about games, maybe dates of when things were released. Basically, a paper trail. It is to learn. It is to know what happened in the past. Sometimes there's inaccuracies, but for the most part, you can get a lot of solid information from Wikipedia. And the fact that this site that is just literally about research and for basically students or college grads or people that are adults to learn about things is being censored by the UK government, it's very obvious it was never about protecting children. I mean, we already knew this. It's very obvious. But the fact that you have the operator losing the court challenge says enough. That the whole purpose of this is to censor information, to censor the spread of information, to censor people from researching about things or talking about things that the government does not want you to talk about. You know what this actually sounds like? Just straight up, I'm going to be blunt. It sounds like China. It sounds exactly like China. Like, we want to joke and meme about China, but legit what we're seeing the British government do, what UK is doing, and what EU and other countries are trying to follow right now is to stop you from talking about certain topics, to arrest you.
Well, it's also the control of information, to be honest with you. I mean, he's not wrong. He's not wrong in the sense of comparing it to something like China. It may not be as extreme right now, right? It may not be as extreme as that, but I mean, he's not wrong. At this point, it is to try to control the flow of information without completely locking the internet down as a whole. They want to give you the perception and the idea of freedom when really there isn't any, right? They want to tell you what to think, what to say, what to do, how to even eat at this point. That's why they want you to eat the bugs, This is what they do.
If you talk about certain topics, for instance, like example here, what Britain has been really trying to push is like if you talk about mass migration, for instance. And so in this case, it reminds me so much of China with Tiananmen Square. It does. Anyone that knows their history knows about that. It literally feels the exact same. The UK government does not want you to talk about certain things, and they are going as far as they can to make sure you don't. And this There is no
Listen, like I say in all my videos, I have a lot of people that watch me from the UK, and they always comment, just how shitty it is in terms of some of the laws that are over there, especially when it comes to speech. I know I watch some UK YouTubers that when they speak in a way that's very like beyond just YouTube TOS. It's kind of insane from someone who obviously, thankfully, has a constitution that is still somewhat upheld at this point. But even so, this shit is going to try to make its way here. It's only a matter of time. And if a lot of our youth loves to use a app like TikTok and what they're going to do in order to keep their addiction going, it's going to be insane. And they know that. If they know that, they're banking on that. It's not even just the parents that are going to be taken advantage of. You know how many grandparents that are going to be taken advantage of by these young kids, not telling them the whole story? Hey, grandma, can you just take a selfie so I can get my account back? This is going to be astronomically bad. And on top of that, now you're talking about an outside entity outside of the US having millions of photo IDs and selfies of the people that are utilizing their account, and they're not going to sell that? You think they're not going to sell that stuff? Of course they are, right? So it's just crazy stuff.
To censor a site like this. It is just very obvious. It's very transparent that what they're trying to do. And it is absolutely insane to me that there is probably just people that are rolling over and accepting this around the world. There is people. I've seen people still actively defend this. I have seen people actively say, why are you trying to not protect kids? And literally falling for the line of thinking that these government officials are saying here, when it's very obvious it's not about that. Because in an ideal world, maybe it would work, but it's very clear there's corruption. It's very clear that we're not in an ideal world. And so because of that, you're going to have things where people go too far and try to censor what they just don't like to see. And in this case, that's what's going on.
And that's literally what happened with Steam, with itch.io, and with anime and manga too. And it's still happening, So this thing it's crazy because, and again, people will say, well, they're gonna delete the stuff after they use it. No, they're not. I don't believe that in the slightest. They're not gonna delete the selfie. They're not gonna delete the pictures of the ID. They're absolutely going to keep it. The people on the T app thought that their stuff was gonna get deleted after it was used. It's not. It never is.
Horrifying news. This is not good. And I feel like more people around the world and content creators should be talking about this. And it's insane. The conversation around this topic is dwindling, getting lower and lower, and people are not speaking out upon it. And I think that it's going to continue getting worse until eventually there's only two outcomes. People are going to be so silenced that we're going to live in legitimately a dystopian reality. Like people like to meme on like 1984 and stuff like that. But we're going to live in like some cyberpunk dystopian world that just really oppresses what you can say. Or you're going to have people actually rally and try to fight back against this. That's the only two options.
It's going to be a situation where reality is going to mimic fiction very, very, very soon. It's going to get to the point where we are going to be looking around us and seeing like, damn, we just got teleported into some 1984 situation, or like you guys were saying earlier, cyberpunk situation. It's insane. We are literally living in a time, and it's so obvious too because it's happening all at once. Like I said earlier, you think all of these companies all bought this age verification technology at the same time and utilize it at the same time just because? You think they were all working on age verification technology at the same time and they all released it at the same time just because? Of course not. Of course not. They're all buying and utilizing the same age verification technology, which is why all of their supposed age verification are the same two things. Scan your ID, scan a picture of your face. It's all the same stuff. There's no differentiation in any of it because they're all using the same tech, because they all bought this tech and utilized it, and we're knowing about it for a while now, for a long, long time. It was all pre-planned.
But right now, it's not looking good. I've seen kind of less and less resistance as time goes on over these days. And the fact that we have just in 2 days, YouTube is going to be implementing something very similar to invade people's privacy already shows that it's just about to become horrendous. Now, with that being said, let's shift into TikTok for a second, because this is relevant to the topic of YouTube, because it's very similar. So, as I've already been mentioning for many videos now, the whole Online Safety Act is technically the UK at the moment, but EU is passing their own laws, so is Australia. We know that America is, Canada is as well, and probably different countries too. The point of the matter is that a lot of these sites that are being forced to censor itself for ID identification is technically in the United Kingdom, and some in the EU. But now you have companies like, for instance, YouTube and TikTok now implementing age verification, ID verification, or credit card verification, proof credit card verification, to be able to access their site in the United States. And it showcases.
And keep in mind, if anybody wants an idea of just how bad things are getting, in certain parts of Canada, you can actually get a ticket for going out in the woods at a certain time or something like that. I watched a video of a politician purposely going out into the woods in order to get this ticket so that he could fight it in court and legislation and all that stuff. But they're trying to control where you can actually go now at this point. It's crazy. It's only a matter of time before there's a fucking curfew. You can't go out after XYZ time. These people want maximum control, and this is what happens when you give it to them. You give it to them willingly.
Is that these companies,
I think it was in Nova Scotia that happened, if I'm not mistaken.
in general, are not being forced by, let's say, the UK government to do this. They're doing it willingly to invade your privacy. They're jumping on the bandwagon to be able to collect as much information they can, because when things turn south, let's say people do rally back against what's going on against the UK government, the point is that YouTube and TikTok and these other companies can say, oh, we're not at fault, they forced us, when it's very obvious they didn't, because there's no business for them to do this in the US. So,
well, keep in mind, too, they've already tried to do this. Facebook tried to do this, right? Facebook, if you guys remember, Mark Zuckerberg tried to pass off blame to the Joe Biden administration once Trump got into office. And he said that all the censorship that was enacted on Facebook was at the request of the Biden administration, and they were just following orders. They tried to pass off the blame to them already. This is what these companies do. Anytime they could pass off the blame and be the ones that totally weren't at fault, they're going to do it. They're going to do it any chance they get.
Big issue here is this one here. So let's get into this TikTok. So apparently there is reports right now that a lot of people, I believe this is from UK, people within the UK, and I think some people in the United States is getting this as well, that there is people getting hit by an AI algorithm that is saying that their actual account is a child account. It's not an adult using the account. And this notification pops up to where it will say your account will be banned if, you basically don't identify yourself. If you don't do an appeal and everything, your account will be banned. And you can see basically right here that they, we're going to be deleted in under a few days. Like it says it right here, or not a few days, in a month. Correction, my bad. I misread it. Forgive me. I'm kind of stupid. But anyways, it showcases that it will be deleted, their account. And this is already showing the future of a lot of these social media sites. And there is no business for this. On top of that, I do want to point out TikTok is a massive social media platform. And I'm just going to say it like it is. It's definitely utilized mostly by people that are not adults. I'm just going to.
And that's what I was going to say. I was waiting for him to say it, but that's what I was going to say. So TikTok, out of all these platforms, is probably the one that has the majority amount of younger people that are utilizing that platform. Like we're talking under 18 people that utilize that platform on a mass scale, right? So if any of these platforms would get age verification, it would probably be TikTok. But even so, if you're banning accounts and deleting accounts, you mean to tell me that what? You're just going to ban like 90% of your fucking users? I don't see them doing that, right? Does anybody else see them doing that? I don't see them doing that personally.
I feel like about the vast majority, over half, maybe 60, maybe 70, maybe I'm like lowballing it, but I know at least over half of the viewership on TikTok is definitely kids. And the fact that they're implementing something like this, I'm not trying to say kids should be on TikTok or anything, okay? I'm just going to say that. What I'm saying is that this is going to kill TikTok. I don't know what they're thinking, but this is destructive. It's extremely destructive to their entire site.
But is it destructive if there's people who are willingly going to do it? Because again, I don't know if Chippy's going to say this in the video or if he's thinking this, but we cannot underestimate how many young kids are going to actively take advantage of either their parents who don't know any better or their grandparents who definitely don't know any better and utilize their face to facial scan so that way they can keep access to their site. And then China ends up winning because then they got access to more information, more facial scans, more everything from their accounts, and they could just sell it. So I don't think it's going to kill TikTok at all. I think that the kids that are on the platform that are crafty enough to figure this out, I think they're going to do everything they can to stay on this platform. I really do.
YouTube. The very same thing that's going to be happening in literally 2 days. 2 days from now, the system of AI algorithm to verify if you're an adult or not is coming out. And I feel like a lot of people that browse or YouTube are completely unaware that that's coming. I feel like a lot of people are about to be blindsided when that information comes out in a few days. And people are going to be like, why am I being forced to use my ID? Why am I being forced to put my credit card information on? You know, there's going to be a lot of people blindsided by it.
Oh yeah, there is millions upon millions upon millions of people that have no idea this is even coming, which is kind of sad because of the amount of videos that people are putting out on a daily basis. We're talking about massive content creators, massive, right? Talking about this, and even all of that, it doesn't matter. The majority of the people on YouTube probably don't even watch Aspen Gold, right? As crazy as that sounds, don't even watch Moist Critical. And at the end of the day, there is millions upon millions of people that will have zero clue that any of this is happening. And when they log in on the 13th, if that algorithm thinks they are underage, which is probably programmed to immediately do anyway because they want your data, then they're going to be like, what the fuck? Why do I have to upload my ID? Why do I have to upload my selfie picture? What is going on here? Just to use this? Why? And then before you know it, it's going to wake up a lot of people. A lot of people. Now, to be fair, there's going to be people that are going to do it no matter what. That's just how life goes. But I think this will absolutely wake up a lot of people.
It's going to be huge. I sense a lot of controversy. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe nobody will talk about it. But I doubt it. I really doubt it. There's no way a YouTube automated AI system is going to function properly right out the gate.
Hell no.
Especially when it's very clear that they jumped into this to get onto the bandwagon with what's going on in UK and other governments around the world.
Oh no, they didn't jump on this to get on the bandwagon. They were part of the people who made the bandwagon to begin with. All these companies enacted together. They all plotted together. There's no way. There is literally no way that they all are utilizing the same technology within 1 to 2 days of each other and having the same rules enacted on all their platforms within 1 to 2 days of each other. There's no fucking way. They are the ones who made the bandwagon. They're not getting on the bandwagon.
Yeah, it's bad, man. It's really easy. Like, how did we get here, man? It's just, it's one thing after another. Like, I know the executive order the other day was kind of good news. It doesn't mean it's over because an executive order can easily be appealed and stuff, like payment processors and banks. But it was a step in the right direction. But if this continues and these governments keep allowing this, that executive order is not going to really do anything. It's going to just get worse. So don't stop talking about this, guys. This is very important. It's really important. I'm extremely, extremely passionate about this. I want to keep talking about this because it is important to make sure everybody knows about this. Because if you roll over, it's going to get worse. It will. We've seen it, and it is. And so they're hoping.
And we've already seen how weak this technology is because this technology is being beaten by, in-game camera modes for like Death Stranding and fucking even. I'm surprised nobody even tried it with Eve from Stellar Blade. Like they're just able to do it no problem by utilizing that technology to beat this facial scan nonsense. So it's not even good technology. You can honestly see that they rushed it. Right, you can see that they rushed it, and they didn't even think it through.
They'll stop talking about it. They're hoping people get bored. That's what they're hoping for.
I think even Gary's mod was able to get past it, and Gary's mod looks like shit, graphically speaking. But even that game was able to get past the age verification by utilizing their facial scans. It's crazy.
So if you do want this topic to spread, do leave a like on this video. Do leave a comment for the algorithm as well to help this video spread. It does help out considerably. But thank you so much, guys. Be safe, stay healthy.
Shout out to Chibi Reviews. What a great video. I'm going to take his video and link it in the description box below for all you guys to check out. But no, he's absolutely right, man. This is going to be, I don't know what's going to happen with TikTok. I really don't. I think that a lot of people are going to, I should say a lot of the users on TikTok are going to try to find a way to get past the age verification. That way they can utilize the platform. And a lot of the people that are going to be uploading IDs or facial scans are not even going to know that it's happening, right? What's going to stop a kid from stealing their parents' ID and taking a picture of it and uploading it so they can keep their account? What's going to stop them from stealing their grandparents' ID if they're over Abuela's house one day and they want to fucking steal the ID and take a picture, right? That's all of this is going to absolutely happen. There's no doubt about it. And the amount of information that's going to be going out there is going to be astronomical. It's going to be insane. But you guys can let me know in the comments down below. What do you think about all this stuff? What do you think about the upcoming age verification on YouTube? And what do you think about TikTok banning accounts if you don't prove your age? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, consider hitting that like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one.